Good evening, Kabbaalites and other denizens of the dark. You might be wondering what's going on. Well, it seems, much like the growth of the channel, the reach and adoption of Vtubing is progressing faster than I predicted. I'm a sucker for the topic of content creation and its related tangents. So today I'm going to take a look at just what is Project Kavvaii, what its implications are for the future of VTubing and content creators, and finally, just what the future might hold for VTubing beyond the reaches of its anime roots. So, if you don't already know, recently new players in the form of really big business have decided to dip their toes into the world of VTubing. That's right, I'm talking about AirAsia's very own Project Kavvaii. The first really big business to act on the trend and profits generated and potential displayed by Kavvaai and their wildly successful venture HoloLive. Now, while Kavvaai may be the current head honchos of the scene, let's take a look at AirAsia and what we know from their venture. Well, first off, AirAsia is a publicly traded airline company, somewhere in the worth of, $18 billion, with a capital B. If we look at Kavvaai, it seems that their latest business forays have had an injection of around $6 million into the company through fundraising last year. So, what does that mean? Well, it means that a company whose advertising budget could very well buy Kavvaai outright is about to make some very, very big ripples. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean that suddenly Project Kavvaii is going to be numbering more subs than Gura? Or stealing all of V Shoujo's viewership? Oh, no, dear viewer. You're thinking small potatoes. What this means is a company personifying themselves in such a way as to have people be loyal to a brand without even really using it. Oh, but that's poppycock, I might hear you say. Who would ever be so loyal to some corporate mascot? Well, tell me, dear viewer, have you ever enjoyed HoloLive, Nijisanji, VShoujo? Have you ever seen one of their VTubers and said, yes, this is my favorite creator. I love what they do, and I want more. I want to interact with them. I want their merch. And then you actually buy it? Or you donate? Congratulations. They're making money off of you. Wait. Don't click away just yet. Now, what I just said may sound bad, but you're still supporting the creator, the persona behind the character that you adore. With Project Kavvaii, I'm really certain that AirAsia is going to do their research and have realized that those people, the person behind the character, is the reason why the fans stay, not the character itself. AirAsia is, however, taking this a step farther. It can be said that VTubing is still a relatively new niche, something that isn't particularly widespread, despite what it might look like on Twitter, Reddit, or even Twitch. But Kabhaal, you might say. YouTube plays host to over 2 billion users each month. Though, that's also where Gura and the girls live. But allow me to shine some light on that particular situation. Yes, they are on YouTube, and yes, they are incredibly popular. But YouTube is curated. There are numerous users who have no idea what a HoloLive is, and YouTube has no stake in promoting them, or the matter of VTubers in general. They're going to make money regardless. Additionally, do you ever see advertisements for a service a VTuber's parent company provides? A product? Something that liking a VTuber of that brand could possibly sway you towards favoring? Of course you don't. That's because up until this point, VTubers were just entertainers. Is what I was going to say until a follower of mine, Nyazilla, showed me this. And then another follower, Shime Okami, showed me this.
コーネのゲーム実況はすんごく長くなるのが多いんだけど、これがね、ほんとね、お腹が広いよ。だから、ながらで食べられるものが欲しいわけさ。そこで、日清カレー飯。
Now, while they are on the packaging, and they are acting as a spokesperson for that product, that isn't something that their parent company natively offers. But what if these were VTubers of the actual company? We're possibly about to step into the era of VTubers becoming immortal avatars of the faceless business world. So, with the context out of the way, let's get into the real meat of what this could mean for VTubing. Well, with AirAsia taking the dive, do you think all the other companies that are known for their characters or sometimes memeable market tactics are going to sit by and idly watch? No, of course not. I'm glad that you agree. Take, for example, Wendy's. Their Twitter media presence is notorious for its razor-sharp wit. Now, what if Wendy Thomas were a VTuber that could weaponize that wit into even more of a viral phenomenon by doing so in person, with a voice actress to breathe that extra spark of snark into the character? Is that going to make people rush out and buy Wendy's burgers in never-before-seen numbers? Probably not. But it might, however, form a more favorable opinion of the brand and their product over another, should a casual choice between it and a competitor be presented. But how does that affect VTubing and us as VTubers as a whole? What it does is bring VTubers fully and wholly into the eye of the mainstream. Whether you're a VTuber yourself or just a VTuber enthusiast, we all have something that sparked the first foray into the rabbit hole. For myself, it was Iron Mouse, her brain-blasting levels of energetic entertainment, pushing aside my preconceived notions of what was possible with a 2D avatar. Then a little further in, it was Mimika Morph, the queen of horror VTubers, and all her ghastly glory that hooked me like an irate Cenobite. The rest, well, that's more or less history. Oh, but we're going to delve a little bit deeper, so follow me. Now imagine VTubers with professional-grade comedians, actors, actresses behind them, and multi-billion-dollar viral marketing campaigns. Those sci-fi advertising campaigns you might see in Blade Runner or Ghost in the Shell. Not so far from the realm of possibility now, are they? The reach of these campaigns into the general population is something the likes of Mimika or even Mousy could never hope to achieve. But while it might seem like a megacorp takeover of the genre, it comes with no small amount of benefits for them, myself, or even you. You see, with the exposure to the general population comes more interest. With more interest, a larger audience pool. With a larger audience pool, the possibility for even greater growth as the people who might enjoy a particular creator's content increases. And with that growth comes the opportunity for sponsorships that might not have existed before. Not every company is going to want to create its own VTuber and invest stacks of cash to have them grow and become popular just to represent their brand. What I see happening is companies seeking out VTubers that fit their brand and offering them deals and contracts to act as faces. Think of it as a sort of mix between the unbound indie and a contracted creator like HoloLive. You still own your face, you still own your content, but you're under contract to represent something bigger than just that. So, you want an example? Well, I'm more than happy to provide. Think of Shudder, the streaming service for all of your nerve-wracking needs when it comes to horror media. Who better for a horror host to haunt their airwaves than my own ghoulish self? The demographics already overlap, and as the channel continues to grow, it might very well come to outreach Shudder's very own YouTube channel. And the same could be said for social media presence, such as Twitter. But why is that? Well, it's because of one simple fact. I am a person. They are a business. With myself, you can build a connection when you leave a comment, whether here on YouTube, on Twitter, or live on Twitch. You know it's not an intern or some social media manager responding to it. It's me, your favorite frightening caffeinated cultist. I have the ability to build a relationship with you, the viewer, as a creator that a company can't replicate. Yet, big companies and brands delving into the depths of VTubing will change the landscape of the medium forever if successful, and probably even if it isn't. But there's other ways that it will change VTubing as well. As VTubing is pushed into the mainstream media and into the eyes of the public of the world, it will have to adapt to cultural differences. And that brings me to my next point. VTubing beyond anime's style and its influence. VTubing's roots are directly tied to anime and Eastern influences, the styles, the face shapes, the general expressions that most VTubers are capable of. The anime roots run deep. As the medium of VTubing spreads under the banner of the corporate push, however, millions of dollars will flow into market research and spur what I foresee as a departure from the Eastern influences of idol culture and anime. In fact, we're already starting to see it in the indie scene. VTubers of companies will take on stylistic choices that better fit the culture, age, the national demographic the companies are seeking to appeal to, and I believe indies will follow suit if they haven't already positioned themselves ahead of the curve. I'll go ahead and use myself as an example again. Personally, I've stepped away from stylistic choices that evoke feelings or references to anime, and instead lean heavily towards something more closely resembling American horror comics. But why is that? Well, besides personal preferences and reasons, it's a conscious choice in how I want to represent myself and my content as a brand. When a viewer indulges in my horror-centric content, I want to evoke nostalgia for shows such as Tales from the Crypt, Are You Afraid of the Dark?, Elvira's Movie Macabre, and Mystery Science Theater 3000. Now, looking at some of the comments I receive in some of my horror videos, it seems I've done just that. It's only a matter of time until I hit those fan bases. You see, each of these holds a special place in people's hearts, but can only be seen in reruns. And they all have fan bases that are very dedicated in their following, and are rather bereft of choices, as the current picking for horror host media formats are slim indeed. Not only that, but due to the pre-recorded nature of these shows, and even the ones that are still around, you can't really interact with the petrifying persona behind the lens. However, that is a unique trait and competitive advantage I'll have in my favor as both a YouTube creator and a live streamer. Well, yes, as an individual, I do enjoy my anime and manga. I'm trying to reach beyond the sphere of anime and its audience into a realm tapped into really by only one other Vtuber that I know of. The aforementioned Mimikamorph. Is it a gamble? Well, yes, but one that should pay off for myself and others who see similar signs and have acted on it. Should this come to pass, we'll be positioned to grow at a frightful pace. If and when the general public eye turns to our chosen niches. That, dear viewer, is because, as I see it, that's where the future of VTubers lies. Not just idols, video game enthusiasts, or even visual artists. Where we are now is just the starting point. I see VTubers becoming entertainers associated with all types of genres, art, and cultural influences. Their niches and audiences being something that they can truly play to via the power of their digital nature, circumventing the need for expensive sets or props that a live entertainer would require for the same experience. In fact, I would not be all surprised if, given the wake left by global events and the progress of technology such as VR, that if not just corporations with a product to advertise, but even the music industry and its artists take to the digital dimension for the purpose of things such as concerts or replacement for live performances, saving them costs on travel, lodging. All in all, the future of VTubing, in the opinion of this humble cultist, will truly be something to behold. So, I really hope you enjoyed my prophecy for the future of VTubing. It took me longer than I care to admit to put together and record. But I got a lot of good feedback from a lot of people, much more intelligent than I. So I think it was worth it, all in all. I really do hope some of this comes to pass, if not all of it, because that will mean new, uncharted heights for VTubers and VTubing culture. It will really be a sight to behold. But if you want to behold more things from me, you can always hit that subscribe button, ring that reminder bell, and maybe if you want to see me live, or hear me talk about content and babble on about horror, you can follow me on Twitter and Twitch as well. Especially because I'll be going live in April. So, until next time, Kabhaalites. Have you seen the violet side